Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another recap of Baddies East episode 13 Eviction Day. Let's get into it. Let's just say things went left. Some people stood on business. Some people just was like. So, as y'all already know, it continued off with Mariah Lynn's sister and Smiley getting into it at the club. And they each got their hits off. Security broke it up. Then, I guess when Smiley wasn't looking, Victoria, Mariah Lynn's sister, got her again. And everybody was just like, well, dang. How you let this little girl, who's like this, whoop your behind? Not once, but twice, but 3 times. But when it was time to fight Sapphire and Suki, you wasn't about that life. So it's like an eye for an eye. You picked on her and stuff like that. You about to get what's handed to you. Like, come on now. Simple, point blank. After that, they broke up the fight. And then I guess they head back to their respectable quarters of their houses. So it's now the next day. And everybody talk about, like, what happened? What went down? So they were talking about, no, Rolly was in her room. Scarface came to talk to her. She was talking about how the fight and stuff went down and how Biggie got some fan, hit a bottle behind Scarface's head. And then he was talking about Big Biggie. And then Rolly was talking about she want to do some eviction notices. I'm about to write them up because I already know who I want to get going, which is Smiley and Biggie. Like, come on, you're doing too much. And then Biggie, you just, you. So that's the reason why Rolly want her to get going. But then after that, they each went to go get ready to go over to the girl's house. So meanwhile, Sky, Anna, and who else is outside? Oh, Camilla. They're outside. No, wait. Yeah, Sky, Anna, and Camilla is in the backyard, drinking coffee, having them talk or whatever. And they're talking about how stuff was going with Smiley. And at this point, they're just like, everybody just over Smiley at this point. And it's just like, you doing too much. Like, you doing too much behind the scenes. And then it's like, you want us to feel sorry for you. But nah, you doing mad stuff. Like, girl, let it go. Like, come on now. You ain't acting like a bad. You acting like a girl from the streets. And this is like, well, dang. Now I gotta pay close attention to you because it's not giving what it's supposed to give. So meanwhile, all the girls go back into the house to get some more coffee. Meanwhile, Sky goes into her room. She calls Natalie, fresh face and all. She was like, "Ooh, yes, I'm digging Natalie with this blonde hair. She is looking like a blonde baddie. Like, okay, sis." So everybody was talking about how Smiley, and everybody's like, we don't got time for this. So now Natalie wants to have a group meeting to go over to the girls' house and then see them in a little bit. So meanwhile, the girls are now in the pool house. Natalie, Scotty, Scarface, Mariah, Sapphire, and Roller. They're sitting there talking, and then Rolly was telling them about how things went last night at the club, how the bottle was thrown at Scarface. So that's that. And then also how Smiley was talking stuff about how her sprint is good, that people are having Mariah's family being watched and followed. So now Mariah is up from that, and Sapphire just was like, oh no, that's not cool. Like, everybody's confession was like, nah, Smiley, you doing too much. So Natalie was telling us, listen, we got to go over there to the girls' house so we can have this group meeting, and then after that, we're going to the club. So everybody gets ready to go to the girls' house, and Sky greets and just talking to them and stuff like that. T started to do some jokes or whatever to tell a spooky story. Everybody was just like, I can't even do this. Like, they got to basically one person tell the story, then they got to keep going and keep telling from the beginning all the way to get to that part of the story. But so that ain't go as well as planned. So next thing you know, Sky gets a phone call. Natalie's outside, so Sky gets up to go answer the door. Everybody's like, oh my God, Rudy. And Sky was like, that was Like, nah, that was all booty. So they get up and go greet her at the door. Everybody's happy and stuff like that. Also, Sapphire let it be known that Suki is back in town, so she'll be pulling up to the house shortly. So all the girls get in, everybody greet each other. Biggie says hi to everybody and stuff like that. And Suki, I think. And then next you know, you see Mariah is E on A. It's on E on site. Like, what? Mariah just went after Smiley. Like, listen, you threaten my family. I don't play with my family like that. Listen, I'll go to jail for my family. I'll go to murder for my family. I will go to jail and sit with a smile in the cell on my family. Like, listen, you play too much. I ain't got time for this. Like, you about to eat these words. Them hands ain't missed no punches when it came to her. Security broke them up. And then for Mariah was just going in and going in. You can see the veins popping out her forehead. Like, listen, she don't play by mine. And everybody was saying the same thing. Like, listen, that's one thing you don't do, is play by somebody's family. T was like, if you was talking about my mama and my auntie, oh, you would have been tough. It would have been up from there. You wouldn't have been no discussion from the club. Like, it would have been on site, like, handled. Like, please. So now at this time, Scarface addresses Biggie about the whole situation, about the bottle flipping and stuff like that. First, she was like, she don't know what she's talking about. At this time, Suki comes in and she starts hearing the story. Everybody just like, So Scarface pulls Camilla. She was like, listen, you don't remember when it happened at the club and the guy at the bottom? She was like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. This. She was like, oh, now I remember. She was like, yeah. And then also Sapphire, she was standing right next to her when it happened. She was like, yeah. So she already know, got corroborated stories. So after that, they're talking. Rolly came in to give, because by this time, Smiley done went inside. Rolly done hands Biggie her note, and she was like, here, check this out. Biggie was like, nah, I really have my own time. Then Rolly goes in the house to hand Smiley hers. She was like, listen, she read it. Was like, oh, yeah, you out of here. And then it was like, okay, that's cool. She was like, all right, can I get out of here so I can go change my clothes? By this time, Rolly just goes back outside and whatever, and Biggie's still going off at E.T. They got into a little fight, and, you know, Biggie's still talking. At this point, Scarface is just like, she's heated, but she's not really giving her the time or energy anymore, so it's just like, whatever. And then all the other girls just like trying to tell Biggie, like, listen, it is what it is. Like, come on, you did this. I can see how she feels that way, because that's what it looks like. So Suki comes in and tries to diffuse the situation. Biggie's still talking and whatever. And Suki was like, listen, I understand that's what you say, but listen, that's how she feels. That's what it's being portrayed as. Like, personally, that fan is from you. So it's like, how else would you feel? How else is it going to make you feel? Because first of all, when she put her hands on you, you ain't touch her. You did not touch her at all. So it's like, and Suki was like, yeah, if that happened to me, I would have had somebody on the outside try to get her too, because by any means necessary, I can't touch you like I want to. I'm going to get somebody else to do it. So it's like, it's giving that vibe. So eventually, Rolly was like, listen, so you don't want to open this letter? You evicted. Like, you got to go. You and Smiley got to go. Like, it is what it is. And Biggie's still standing there talking, whatever. And by this time, Scarface and them went inside and started packing up her stuff. And Sapphire and Suki was like, go get your stuff. And she's still talking, go get your stuff. Go get your stuff. Go get your stuff. She's still talking. And then next thing you know, she goes inside the stuff. And it was like, she's touching your stuff. And she's still trying to talk. And Biggie was like, it's in the contract that nobody can touch my stuff. And Scarface was like, you still talking about legality. Like, listen, go get your stuff. What the heck you still talking for? Running your mouth. Go get your stuff. Next thing you know, Scarface comes out with her MCM bag. And they're both tussling at it. Next thing you know, Biggie throws a punch at Scarface, and that was the episode. Like, that was it in a nutshell. Like, oh my gosh. Like, at this point, this is like, this is like the worst season of Baddies I've ever watched. But at the same time, they got so much daggone drama. You wouldn't even think it was that much drama. And y'all supposed to be grown women baddies get into the bag. Y'all doing is get into the hands. Like, what the heck? Y'all not in middle school, high school anymore. Y'all freaking grown women. Worry about getting that money, and all y'all doing is fighting. Like, y'all give people a bad name when it comes to fighting. Like, nobody want to see that. How you associated with a baddie, but you stay fighting? Huh? Make that make sense. But anyways, that was this episode in a nutshell. Next week's episode, continuation from the fight and whatever, Scarface and Biggie. Supposedly, Biggie and Smiley never left. They finally went to the club. And yeah, about to break loose next time. So we're going to see, it's still Scarface. Still about to get her next fade with Smiley. So yeah, it's up from here. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Y'all stay tuned for next week. I think there's only 2 more episodes left. And with that being said, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.